Hey everybody, the goal today is to get rich. We want to be swimming in money like Scrooge McDuck. You might just blow all your winnings at 731 South Krause Avenue, but we can worry about that part later. That's all up to you. As for me, I'm Jack Gordon. Thank you so much for joining me on Beat the Bookie. Let's try to fatten up those wallets with a full slate of college football. Last week, Braden Reed did his best to help you do just that. Braden hit a three-leg parlay with Michigan, Alabama, and North Carolina covering the spread. That netted him over $60. Sadly, he went 1-5 in his other picks. Where Mr. Reed went wrong was thinking it was horns up against Oklahoma, but like an antelope drinking water, it was in fact horns down in the Red River rivalry. With those $1.79 in winnings, I'm sure you bought a half gallon of gas or maybe even one singular bag of M&Ms. All kidding aside, it's been 2 straight weeks in the green here on the bookie, so pressure is on. The first positive week of this year went to Steven Sklar. He put up a great performance 2 weeks ago. Jesse Cook, he put up a decent week, but oh boy, those two at the bottom. Thanks to Ben Spector and Joe Puccio, I had to sell my car. I hope you two are listening because now I have to rollerblade from point A to point B. Looking like Chaz Michael Michaels might seem cool at first, but no, it's not. I definitely need to win back some money this week, so guys, thank you. So with that, let's keep battling back and try to make it 3 straight weeks in the green. I think the best way to win big money is to start with the big games. Let's start over in Big Ten country. Just kidding. Give that about a year, then we can say that. This might be the biggest Pac-12 game of the entire regular season. Number 7 Washington hosts number 8 Oregon. It's a clash of the second and third best offenses in the entire country. The Ducks score over 50 points per game and the Huskies put up 46 a game. You can thank 2 of the Heisman Trophy frontrunners for these offenses. Michael Penix Jr. is the favorite to take home the award right now. He has almost 2,000 yards through 5 games. Bo Nix for Oregon completes over 80% of his passes, has a 15-to-1 touchdown-to-interception ratio. So what gives? Well, in a showdown like this, the most important thing is something the Pac-12 is allergic to. Defense. The Ducks are 5th in the country, allowing fewer than 12 points per game, and the Huskies, they just can't get to the quarterback. They're outside of the top 100 in sacks. Give me $10 on Oregon to march into Husky Stadium and cover plus 2.5 with some tough defense. All right, it's time to head over to South Bend, Indiana. Touchdown Jesus has not been too kind to Notre Dame this season. The Irish offense has been slow. In its last 3 games, Notre Dame has scored 20, 21, and 14 points against Louisville, Duke, and Ohio State. 3 top 25 defenses. Perfect timing to face a Pac-12 team that also has that defense allergy. USC. The Trojans' defense is 130th in the country in explosive plays allowed through the air. They've given up 41 points in each of the last 2 weeks. I know what you're thinking. Jack, USC is undefeated. Caleb Williams is the best player in the country. Notre Dame has 2 losses and they're favored? Yup, we're all about grit on this show. Play some defense and then we'll talk SoCal. Let's shake down the Thunder. Irish to cover, minus 2.5. Another $10 on it. Let's stick with some Pac-12 teams. I need to preface this by saying I was on the record saying this 2 years ago here on CitrusTV. I'll make a time machine just to find this evidence because I've been saying it for so long as he's been playing college football. DJ Uiagalelei is good. He's out of the Clemson spotlight that he was set up to fail in. Over in Beaver Country, they love him so far. He's led Oregon State to a 5-1 record with a win over 16th-ranked Utah. And they're finally going up. I can put my money where my mouth is and throw some dough on my guy DJ, but not too much. We've got a lot more to talk about. Let's go with $5 on the Beavers to cover minus 2.5 at home. Well, let's take a peek at what our other producers have to say today. We agree on Oregon covering plus 2.5. Yes, that is me right before prom. Wow, fantastic. USC, they've got them to cover against Notre Dame, and UCLA plus 2.5 against Oregon State. All right, let's keep this train rolling and take a look at the rest of my picks for this week. We'll head to the SEC for Florida and South Carolina. The Gators have a bad case of hodophobia, an extreme fear of travel. Under Billy Napier, Florida is 1-7 on the road. Unfortunately for the Gators, they have to make a trip to Columbia, South Carolina in the middle of Cocktober. The Gamecocks have played a tough schedule. They've lost to UNC, Georgia, Tennessee, but here's where they go. Fresh off a bye week, South Carolina protects its home and wins by at least a field goal. $10 on it. All right, let's go back to grit. In an actual Big Ten matchup, defense. Iowa heads out to Madison, Wisconsin. Both teams allow fewer than 20 points per game. Now, I think this one is going to be messy. The Hawkeye offense hasn't been pretty, but they've been good enough to win 2 of 3 conference games so far. Quarterback Cade McNamara tore his ACL last time out, so it looks like doom and gloom in Iowa. Well, you forgot gambling is all about stories. The new QB1 for the Hawkeyes is a man named Deacon Hill. He's never started a college football game, but he gets the nod against his former team. Hill transferred from Wisconsin after 2 years, only playing 1 game for the Badgers. So you know what that means. Revenge game. Give me Iowa to a cover, plus 10 for $5. Deacon Hill is going to keep the Hawkeyes in this one. Now back out to Pac-12 country. This one hits close to home. All the Fairweather fans are gone. The hype has faded after 2 losses. But not for Dan Patterson and I. I'm still riding the Buffaloes all the way to the promised land. I'm taking my Louis luggage with me. Now give me my theme music. I know you all forgot about Colorado, the team with one of the most talented quarterbacks in the country, Shedeur Sanders. The man already has 2,000 passing yards and leads a prolific offense that might have the most exciting player in college football back on Saturday. Two-way star Travis Hunter has a good chance to return. With that being said, you know where I'm going with this. Colorado blows 1-4 Stanford out of the water. I'm dropping a fat $20 bill on it. You can thank Coach Prime for paying me to say all this. Now, let's shift over to our dog of the week. This one isn't a very heavy underdog, but we're not trying to make headlines, we're trying to make money. Enter Wake Forest, exit Virginia Tech. I don't know what that means. It's just an attempt at a stupid Metallica reference. But the post-Frank Beamer era has been nothing short of mid. Vatech is 49-45 in the last 8 years. Under Brett Pry, the last 2 seasons, VT is 5-12. The same can be said for the post-Sam Hartman era for Wake Forest. The Demon Deacons aren't that much better right now, but I do think they are better. Wake is 3-2, coming off a 1-score loss to Clemson. I think they get back on track with a win in Blacksburg. $15 on it. Now here's the main entree. It's an ACC delight. I'm parlaying 3 teams together that I have extreme confidence in. Let's start with Florida State. The Seminoles host a struggling Syracuse squad that hasn't shown it can compete against the nation's best. After the clobbering that happened down in Chapel Hill last weekend, there's little reason to believe the Orange can put up a fight against the number 4 team in the country. I don't think this game ends close. FSU blows out SU and easily covers 17.5. Speaking of Chapel Hill, number 12 North Carolina hosts number 25 Miami. The Hurricanes lost to Georgia Tech last weekend in unspeakable fashion. Instead of taking a knee to end the game, Miami ran the ball, fumbled, and allowed the Yellow Jackets to score. That's the type of mistake that can derail a season. I think it keeps getting worse for the Canes. UNC is too dominant to slip up right now. Heels cover 3.5. About 20 minutes down the road, number 17 Duke hosts NC State. Wolfpack quarterback Brennan Armstrong has more picks than TDs. He's got no chance against Duke. The Blue Devils allow just over 12 points per game. Good for 5th in the nation. $20 on this ACC trio. Got a lot of confidence in this group. I'm also pretty confident in the best quarterback in the conference. Let's look into our crystal ball and make a future bet. North Carolina has a chance at a double-digit win season. A year like that gives a lot of exposure to Drake May. I think he has a legit shot at winning the Heisman this season. Plus 1,600 is great value right now. The Tar Heels could very well end the season in the top 10, and it's because of him. Well, here is a recap of our picks for the day. We've got Oregon to cover, Notre Dame to cover, and Oregon State in our big ones today. We've got South Carolina dominating Cocktober. Iowa, they're going to defend what is theirs. Colorado, big win over Stanford. They might just win by 50. I'm just saying it. Wake Forest, that's our dog of the week. Our ACC parlay, and Drake May to win the Heisman. Now, if I say I'm not a gambling expert, it invalidates everything I just said. So I won't. But let's hope this goes well, because if it doesn't, I'm screwed. Anyway, with our producers Ethan Frank and Jordan Leonard, I'm Jack Gordon. Good luck, and so long.